Hey guys, MT is here, and today we'll show you my Fire Knight team.
Okay, so my leader champion is Ghostborn, and the rest of the team is Cold Hearts, and I will try to explain how I use them and what they doing. As you can see, I have added some description for team members, so you can better understand their roles. Let's start from Ghostborn. Basically all what we need from him is the damage on the waves and debuffs. These Cold Hearts a bit different story. Primarily they are boss killers, but beside of that they do damage on the waves as well, and also decrease turn meter of the enemies. I think it's enough, so now we can look how my team works in reality. So this is my turn map. It's very easy to understand, and that's all what you need besides stats and masteries. I have to mention that on the end of second wave, there is no problem if your Cold Hearts do A1 or A2. If they do an A3, then you did something wrong, and you need to check your stats or masteries. So basically this map needed to build your team and fix problems, so don't forget to check if your turn order is correct. And now is most wanted part. First of all, I would like to answer to most asked question, how many server sets do you need? Answer is simple, 0. Team not rely on sets at all. The idea of the team was to gear it completely from the gear in the vault, which you don't really need anywhere else. Of course I did improve it over time, but gear from which I started was awful. Most people even don't keep trash gear like that. Let's have a look on minimal requirements. I have prepared some numbers so you have idea what you need and what can be improved. Please keep in mind, great hold bonus is also counting. I think everything is pretty understandable here, but I will go a bit in details. Let's go one by one. From secondary to main stats. The first stat will be HP. We don't care about HP that much, because we are not going to die, but it's always a good idea to have a bit of health. The second one is defense. Nearly same as HP, we don't care much about this one. The third one is resistance. And here everything is not so simple. Basically you don't need resistance at all. But we have Leech on second wave, which could decrease Cold Heart's turn meter, so it's up to you, make it or not, but it could save you some seconds on run. That's all for secondary stats, and now we go into main stats. Let's begin from attack. It's good to have at least around 2.3 or 2.5k, but keep in mind, if you put too less or too much, you could break rotation. And next one will be crit rate. This one is simple. For Cold Hearts A3 you need to have at least 70% of crit rate. Same will be enough for Ghostborn. But best would be to aim for 100% crit rate to avoid any random. And now it's time for crit damage. Here we want to have as much as possible, but also same as attack, having too much or too less could break rotation. Of course we don't forget about speed. We need to have at least 200, to not break any rotation and have ability to get a turn before boss. And the last one, but not less important, is accuracy. Our goal will be to have at least 200, to avoid resisting our turn meter decreases and debuffs. Perfect would be to have 250. Now let's move to the masteries. Idea was pretty simple, to avoid as much RNG as possible to have stable runs. As you can see, I don't use any turn meter increase masteries. Only on Ghostborn I did take Whirlwind of Death, since it doesn't affect turn order in our case. And of course, here is my stats, which was changed many times. Sure, it doesn't mean that you can make the same, but close to it should be possible, or even better. In my case, mostly I have ton of trash speed gear, so I reuse it here. I would suggest you first to start build your speed and crit rate, and after that other stats. You will see directly what you're missing. As example, when you don't kill first wave in time and have run turn order, then most likely you lack an attack or speed is wrong. So main point to hunt gear with right substats. Feel free to use broken sets, it doesn't matter, while it have needed substats. Also you can experiment with higher or lower speeds, everything is possible. You have all what I have right now, but you are not limited to that, so maybe you can do it better. Make sure you check always with turn map, it makes your life easier. This must be modern enough to build team without any problems. I hope you will enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. See you in the next videos.